Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The witnesses which are not accepted in the Hanbali school. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalam ala Rasul al-Kareem. Rabbana taqabbal minna zidna ilma. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad abduka wa rasuluka nabiyil ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. A'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyati a'malina. Allahumma atina nufusna taqwaha wa zakkiha. Anta khairu man zakkaha anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. Allahumma hamd shukana amma ba'd. All the praises belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is by Allah, one and alone. He doesn't have any partners. And may the blessings and peace be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's the one that received the Quran, the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And his tradition is the explanation of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we follow Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam all the way up to today's day and age. So we're on a lesson in the Hanbali school, explained by Ibn Qudamah, and it talks about the cases in the court where witnesses, they are not accepted as witnesses. That's what he mentions there. The witness is rejected. Rad ala shahada, that means the witnesses are rejected. And so now it's mentioned 23 groups of people that are not acceptable as witnesses, and this is the saying from Ibn Qudamah, the Hanbali school. It says, La taqabbal shahada, doesn't accept a witness. If a person, they're a judge, so it won't be accepted witnesses from these people. Read the first one, Sheikh Lisan, you gotta go quick.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Babu man turaddu shahadatuhu. The chapter of the one whose witness is not accepted, is rejected. La tuqbalu shahadatuhu. That the witness is not accepted from Sabiyyun, a young child.
Yes, from these things here. And bear in mind, this is not a solid and fast rule that he can never be accepted from them. This is just a general rule that the Sheikh mentions, and there's particular reasons why he mentions that.
Okay.
The first one is Sabi, for somebody that's young. Because a Sabi, a young person, maybe he says things and who knows. I mean, it's obvious, somebody's a young child, how can be a witness on a serious matter, So that's
How young, Sheikh?
But Sabi, usually they mean below the age of bulugh, below the age of adulthood.
Sabi is anyone who is not a baligh.
Yes, it could be younger too. It could be, somebody that's younger than that too. What do you say, Imam Faisal? Sabi, what's the age for it?
Sabi, anybody below
Young person. Yes, that's what they say, young person. No, so that's the first one. Page number 2, Imam Faisal.
وَلَا زَائِنُ الْعَقْلِ.
Yes.
One whose mind is absent.
Yeah, the mind is gone. The mind is gone. That's literally what it means. وَلَا زَالُ الْعَقْلِ. That means no longer, it's gone. The mind is gone.
What is Za'il? Za'il is remaining.
Missing.
Huh?
Missing.
Yes.
But, okay, and it is not accepted from the one who is Za'ilul Aql.
Yes.
Okay.
His sense is gone, his comprehension. Some people, they have, they're not, they don't have the comprehension. So over here, you usually don't see them, but overseas, you see them, they interact with the people.
You had told me about the person who's missing intelligence.
Yes.
Might be the person who does not understand Deen.
Right, that's how the ulama, they explain it. They say that because Allah mentions that in the ayah in the Quran about the day.
أو سفيها أو لا يستطيع.
So the person, if they don't understand it, then let his guardian.
Correct.
Is
there ikhtilaf on this, on who is the one who is Za'ilul Aql? It doesn't have intelligence. Is it a person that's absolutely insane, or is because there are levels of insanity?
Yeah, it depends on the judgment though. So you follow your imams and stuff, what your shuyukh, they say. They go into
You happen to know what some of the imams said about
yeah, that's what they say. If a person, they're able to do alone and they have comprehension on it, then they say that the person is aql. But if they don't have enough sense to do that, then they say they're not considered to be people with sense. That's one of the interpretations.
Some of them say they know the right hand from the left.
Allahu Akbar.
Some of them say they know how to do istinja. Some of them say if you give them money and tell them to go to the store and buy it
I heard
and
that
come
one
back,
before.
they would do it correctly.
Correctly.
Yeah, they would do
Right
it.
from left, istinja.
Yeah, different. But I thought
Deen,
that
of
was
course.
mumayyiz.
What is
So the
mumayyiz?
mumayyiz means like discerning.
Ah.
So there may be that some of these may not.
You have something where the child is taught to pray the salat, so they use that term where he knows the left from the right. That's what they use. But this here is for a witness, the witness in the court.
Witness.
And that's some serious matters there. And you can see that. Okay, let's go to number 3. There's a lot of
ولا
things.
أخرس ولا أخرس
Yes.
and not for the one who is mute.
Yes, because in the court he has to say things and then he's unable to speak. That's why the Shaykh mentioned that. Some of the ulama, they say that's fine, and maybe he writes it down on there. But generally speaking, if somebody comes to the court, he can't talk, he can't communicate, then it's not a good witness.
Even if he writes everything down that he wants, the whole statement and everything.
That's problematic, to write everything down and things like that. That's why he mentions that. It's a general rule. It's not a hard and fast firm rule. You can never have it, just generally speaking. That's good. Number 4.
I think maybe in the case in that point where they did not know how to read and write, so then maybe they would be doing some like ishara and stuff like hand movements. Who knows what he's saying?
Well, even now, if you look at the court cases, they have a court case. Somebody
Yeah.
comes, he can't speak, then it goes on a witness stand, right?
Correct.
What's going to happen?
He can write.
He can write everything. Okay.
Yeah, right. He can. I mean, not nowadays because they're educated. But at that time, they didn't know how to.
Yes, that's the thing to bear in mind. Also, this was back in
time,
long time ago, 700 years after Hijrah.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago back then. Okay, inshallah. So these are general statements. These are not like
Hard
solid.
and
You can never
fast,
do it.
ولا كافرا.
Yes.
Of course, the disbeliever.
Yes, a disbeliever, they're not accepted for witnesses, particular things. That's what, generally speaking. So disbeliever, because back then, disbeliever, he doesn't have any, he rejects the faith, so he's not going to be.
So Sheikh, he's a kafir, meaning what if he has been wronged? Can he
No,
not
as a
be
witness, in a case, that's what he refers to. This is not hard and fast rules. This is just general rules.
Okay, so if he himself is the plaintiff, then it's fine. It's fine. He
It's
can.
witnesses, and that's usually, when you have witnesses to a debt, a loan, and you have witnesses for a crime, have those things there.
And this is only in the case of a court case.
Right. This
in
refers to
general.
witnesses in the court. Yes.
Okay. ولا فاسقا, nor an evildoer.
Yes. Somebody that does wrong, and that the
So
person
now,
is an
who is a
evildoer.
fasiq? Sheikh?
Somebody that does a lot of crime and does crooked person, you could say.
A crooked person. But what if he's just he's a sinner, a minor sinner or a major sinner? Is he a fasiq?
Well, if he repented, then inshallah he's acceptable. But if he didn't repent, then he's considered to be wrongdoer.
Repentant from what? Major sins or minor
From
sins?
what he did in the past as crimes.
Major or minor? Both?
Yeah, we gotta look at the details how the ulama they explain it. But generally speaking, if somebody is an evildoer, is a criminal, crime, does a lot of wrong things, then how can you accept him as
That would be
as
like a
genuine-
mujrim, right?
Who doesn't do minor sins, brother?
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. No, so that's why I'm getting clarification on, because
Fasiq-
technically, I mean.
Yeah, Fasik, the one that don't follow the rules, don't follow the law, don't follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's mentioned in the Quran.
So
in
this
other
would be a
places.
person, let's say, whose public image is tarnished, basically, right?
Yeah, somebody that's known as that, Let's say that's
So then it would be a major sinner who's publicly major sinning.
yeah, somebody comes as a witness and you see that he's doing all these wrong things, then he wouldn't be a strong witness. He wouldn't be a witness that has value in the case.
Like, for example, let's say he drinks alcohol in his private home. How would we know he's, if he
Yes,
never comes
so
to us?
generally speaking, wouldn't be acceptable as a witness, genuine witness. Okay, that's what he mentioned. Okay, read the next one. Number 6.
Okay, you want to read?
ولا مجهول الحال.
Yes.
No, nor the one who does not know his status. We don't know his status.
Or he doesn't know the situation. That's what I'm trying
Yes.
to. But
Yes.
it's
Majhul al-hal is like somebody you don't know whether he's fasik or
No.
usually in hadith,
Unknown guy.
hadith, majhul is somebody you don't know his authenticity.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. Also, the way I look at it is like, let's say an event happened, then somebody comes as a witness, and how does he know about the event at all? He's like completely ignorant about it, and he's going to be a witness.
he cannot be. I mean, he has to be present.
He has to at least know what's going on. So how can somebody come that doesn't know what's going on and say, "Oh, I'm a witness"?
But we also don't know his.
Yeah, like do you know he's honest or do you know he's a liar? So say somebody comes and nobody knows anything about him. So he's saying majhul al-hal, so you just leave him out.
Yes. Okay, let's go to number 7. This is what they say.
ولا جاري إلى نفسه نفعا, nor
Yes.
one whom it will benefit himself.
Yes. So somebody comes as a witness. If he witnesses something, then it benefits himself. He won't be accepted.
What
as
is
a witness.
jari?
flows to.
إلى نفسه, to his self benefit.
Pull
Oh,
something, يجر. Pull something towards you.
Yes, okay, number 8.
so in this case, Sheikh, it would be because, for example, if I say I witness this is mine or whatever, then I'm going to benefit from the
Yes.
case, yes? So the plaintiff cannot
Yes,
be a witness.
it wouldn't be, it could be rejected. Not absolute, it's just saying like, that could be a state where the judge would reject his witness because he's benefiting from himself, so. Okay, and then number 8, read that one.
ولا دافع عنها شرا, nor
Yes.
one who is trying to avert harm from himself.
Yes. Yes, so because a person that comes to witness that, he's trying to keep the harm away from him, so that's why he witnesses to it. So then it won't be acceptable as a witness. That's
In general, Sheikh.
Generally speaking, not
Because
all the
for
time.
example, ويدرأ عنها العذاب أن تشهد
Yes.
4 شهادات
Yes,
بالله.
because there'll be another motive for his witness, not for, not for.
Yeah, I
keeping
mean,
intact the law.
sometimes it looks like there can be, yes, like the
Yes.
woman.
That's why I mentioned those, because it could be a motive for those cases. Okay, let's read number 9.
ولا شهادة والود والد
Mm-hmm.
وإن عالوا what
Yes.
عال
Allah, yes.
على ولده
Yes.
على ولده.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening here.
Yes, so father cannot be a witness to his son, nor grandfather, great-grandfather, so on. So they're not allowed to be a witness for a son. They're not
ولا
acceptable as a witness.
شهادة والد nor the witness of the father.
Mhm.
وإن علوا على
High, to be above.
لولده
لولده.
ولو على لولده. Oh, okay. So now it cannot be nor from a father, en above, or like grandfather and so on,
Yes.
for his own son. Okay,
Right,
so you
yes.
cannot have a father witnessing against or for his own son.
Yes, it's not acceptable as a witness. Okay, and number, read the
ولا
next one.
ولد لوالده.
Yes,
Nor a son for his father.
yes. So you have that, nor children, it goes for daughters also. They can't be a witness for their mother. So that's
What
not
about the
accepted
daughter
as a
for the
witness.
father? That's fine. No, isn't that
Yeah,
not
same.
fine?
For
So
all
children,
general
father-son
principles.
relationship, or
Right, yes.
child and parent
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. so-
ولا سيد
سيد.
ولا سيد لعبيده, and nor a master to his slave.
Yes. So like the same general principle. The
Is this
father.
witnessing for or against, Sheikh?
Either one.
Either one.
Either one. It's not normally acceptable as a witness, but it's a discretion of the judge. But these are general principles. So if there's a master to a slave, then he might say something because it's his slave. So that's what he's saying. Okay, number 12. Read that one.
ولا مكاتبة, and not a freed slave.
Yes. That means the makataba means that a slave that has some freedom, and that's being written. Makataba, what that means is there's a slave, he wants to get his freedom. So what he does, he asks everybody to give sadaqah, to give charity to him. Then he pays it off until he pays all his freedom. Then he becomes a freed
Yeah.
slave. That's what that refers to.
Partially free. I mean, he's on the
Yes.
way of being.
Yes.
ولا شهادتهما له,
Yes.
and those two, the slave and the partial slave,
Mukatab,
cannot
yes. Yes.
cannot be
Yes.
witnessing
So this
for
is saying that if a person had a slave, then he earned his freedom. Then the master cannot be, the witness for that slave that earned that.
Nor can the slave be the witness for the
Makado,
master.
sometimes it means it's not free yet.
Yeah.
He's partially owned.
But importantly, it can't go either way.
Yes,
It's
and
not the master for the slave, nor the
number
slave for
13.
the. Yeah.
The 13, the slave can't be a witness for the master. That's the other one. Vice versa.
ولا أحد الزوجين لصاحبه, nor one of the spouses to his spouse.
Yes. So you can't have a husband be a witness for a wife, and a wife can't be a witness for a husband. Okay, and then number 15.
ولا شهادة الوصى فيما هو وصي فيه, nor witness of an inheritor for what he is inheriting.
Yes. So that's not accepted. Because then, it might be a different motive to get more inheritance. So that's why I mentioned those things.
But it's not really inheriting, Sheikh. It's about the wasiyah, which is not inheritance. It's
Yes, if he's going to benefit himself, then he's a
Yeah.
witness. Says, then the judge won't accept him as a witness. Normally speaking, on general
Yeah,
rules.
wasiya is, how do you translate wasiya? It's will?
Will, yes.
Okay,
Inheritance. No? Okay.
ولا الوكيل
Mhm.
فيما هو وكيل فيه.
Yes. Nor an agent for the person that he's representing. So, okay. So,
الوكيل فيما هو وكيل. I don't know what that means. Nor an agent for what he's an agency in.
yeah, so somebody hired somebody to be an agent, so that's his client. So then the client says, this agent is a witness for something, then he doesn't accept them because they have that relationship, client and agent.
Client and agent. What about an employer?
Yeah, I think that might be included also. Maybe,
وكيل فيما هو
Yeah, that's a general principle. You don't want somebody that might have a different motive, to be a witness. He might do it for personal gain or something else. So that's why he mentions all these things here. All right, I think that's number 17, right?
No, 16.
16?
ولا شريك فيما هو شريك فيه.
ولا الشريك?
It's a partner.
For what he has a partnership in it.
Yes.
I'm not understanding these two, 16 and 17 correctly, Sheikh. The partner agent who has an agency in it, and a partner who has a partnership in it.
Yeah, a person, he's an agent on somebody, he's representing somebody, then he can't be a witness to that person he's representing because that person hired him to do stuff, so he might have a different motive.
And the partnership, in what he is a partnership of.
Yes. Partner in what he's a partnership of. Partners.
No, I think that makes sense, okay.
Yep.
ولا العدو على عدوه.
Yes.
Nor an enemy on his enemy.
Right, yes. Might be witnessing for these things. There might be a different motive, so the judge got to look at the discretion on that.
But
so.
sometimes, like if they do the opposite, like an enemy witnesses in favor.
Yes.
Yeah,
ولا so interesting here. They say على عدوه, but they don't say ولا العدو لعدوه. على عدوه.
Against
say in Arabic that the witness of your enemy for you is the strongest witness. Because he has no motive other. He's only going to say it if he has to, if he really believes it. Yeah.
Subhanallah.
So,
ولا معروف بكثرة الغلط, nor for someone who makes many mistakes.
yes.
He just absolutely mistaken all the time, like he just doesn't care about accuracy at all.
والغفلة.
والغفلة, and he doesn't care. Oh, okay, interesting. So one, he's making too many mistakes. The other one is careless.
Yeah, kafrat al-ghafla, that means like careless about things, and that's what he's saying.
ولا من لا مروءة له,
Yes.
one that has no self-respect.
Yes.
What is maru'ah?
Marwa, that's self-respect. It means manhood. Literally, that means chivalry.
But how would they judge that? What does a man have to do that he is a person لا مروءة له?
Yeah, that's what he mentions. That somebody that doesn't have the respect. So maybe a person is like crazy or something like that. No.
Well, that we already covered that one.
They said like maru'a is people even in the past who didn't cover their heads when they go out. They eat in the street. They let their women do things. They don't have any ghira over their women and stuff like that.
So if you want to read like more details, they have the Mughni, the Sheikh. He has a lot of explanation on it. There's also other books in the Hanbali school. This is just the basic book. This is the Umda. And they have a lot of other books that go more into detail.
So what used to be the case? Because nowadays, for example, there's a lot of people walking around without covering their head, right? So it's would we say they don't have muru'ah now?
Sometimes people, they say somebody that's very cowardly. So it just says something that might be
no, but like for example, like you come to the masjid, half the people don't have their head covered. So there's no oath against it now. I'm curious what
it's hard to translate. So I just said self-respect. A person that don't respect themselves. So
but
generally speaking, you could say somebody that doesn't have
be a problem now. Like, what's the issue with eating in the street? Like,
because poor people see you eating, and it's not kindness towards them. To eat in front of people. It's
perhaps they're hungry.
Yeah, they might be hungry, or it's not good manners. Maru'a has to do with manners.
But what about people that eat in the restaurant? Fine?
Not in a restaurant because everybody's eating. But like on the street, you can poor people walking by and they can see you, and they may be hungry, and then you're eating in front of like the whole world. even eating, it depends on also the person. Like imams, they're not supposed to like, I think they have a little bit of different. They're not supposed to like eat out in public and stuff like that. For somebody who has respect, like an imam, yeah. Even they say that don't be caught eating in front of people because you lose respect in their eyes.
That is true.
And that's what they say, for imams.
So what if the people?
We're human beings. We gotta eat too. But
We gotta eat.
You're angels. They think you don't eat.
But I do agree. Meaning, for example, say you have a person who is respectable, then they go and then they're eating and they're just like wild in their eating. Let's say.
Well, it seems like to me it's somebody that's very cowardly, that doesn't have manhood.
Yes.
Everybody tells him to do something, then they'll do it.
That's probably a
He doesn't have the
post
bravery.
lesson discussion.
That's what
about
that is.
eating
No
in public
manhood,
or whatever. I agree.
Not to stand up for what's
Yeah.
correct, just like easily pushed around. I think that's what it looks like. Anyway, there's a lot of explanations for it.
كالمسخرة.
Yes,
مسخرة.
yes.
Oh, this is an Urdu word, like مسخرة. Anyway, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Clown?
مسخرة بنورة.
Clown, right?
Yeah, like maskhara is like a joker, basically. Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
Person who jokes a lot.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And then he bears
Yaskar
the
means
witness.
makes fun of other people. That's what there's another meaning for it.
Oh, sakhra. Sakhra is making fun, right?
Yes, وَلَا
And
يَسْخَرُ قَوْمٌ مِّن قَوْمٍ عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُونُوا خَيْرًا. It's mentioned in the Quran.
La yaskhar, yes. So maskhara is like a person who just make everything as a joke. And then he bears a witness, then you do some punishment, then he says, oh, I was just kidding. What kind of prank is this?
Well, okay, this is interesting. The last one.
وكاشف عورته وكاشف عورته للناظرين في حمام أو غيره.
Subhanallah.
So
He
that's
exposes his
interesting.
private parts to be seen in the bathroom or some of that.
So the judge won't accept him. He said,
Allah
not accept him as a witness.
Subhanallah.
So all these things, general principles here on these things here, and
I mean, they don't really do that here, not as much.
right.
Right.
So these are
Locker
things
room.
that
Nah, like locker room. Huh?
Yeah.
so a person
But
they
this
might
would
have
be
a,
like nowadays they would apply this to the jury, right?
Yes.
Jeez.
well, even now the witnesses, they discredit the witness sometimes. The lawyers, they do things like that, you know.
Oh,
They have, if you see the court.
Not only for the jury, but I mean, do we even have a jury in Islam though? We don't really have a
They
jury.
say
Okay,
it
so-
originated in Islam.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Well, what is the jury called?
Those are just general people
Okay.
that the
Multiple
Sheikh he
things to talk
mentioned
about
not to
now.
accept as witnesses.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, number 24.
ومن شهد شهادة يتهم okay. ومن شهد شهادة يتهم في بعضها ردت كلها ردت كلها.
Yes.
If one witnesses to a witness which is partially true, all of it is rejected. So ومن شهد شهادة.
Yes. So let's say a person, they come as a witness, he says a lot of different things, and the judge finds out that one of the things that he said is not true. Partially what he says is not true, then just reject everything that he says.
يتهم. What is يتهم?
Accused. يتهم, he's accused.
يتهم في بعضها ردت كلها.
Yes.
So it's not just partially true, but for example, he bears a witness. Now the people are like, look, he's lying about this or something. Ittiham was just accusation.
part
or
of
it's
it,
proving?
part of
Is it proving that it's
No, it's an accusation. Tuhma.
Tuhma.
Tuhma is an accusation.
Tuhma.
No.
So yuttahamu.
Yes.
So what
But
is this?
yuttahamu, it seems like here it implies that he's accused.
Yes. So
with
people,
validly.
somebody, they
It's a
say
valid accusation.
several different things. One thing he said was a lie, then the judge.
Now
won't
his
accept-
witness is weakened. This
Now,
happens
now,
even
now
in
he
American
won't accept
court,
anything else that he says.
where if you catch a witness on a lie, then everything will be
Right,
discredited.
yes, that's
It
the
can
point
be
here.
discredited.
That's
He's a
the
liar.
point
Why
here.
would you listen?
Right. Yes.
This is how they discredit witnesses
No.
on the stand, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes a judge catches the person saying a lie,
Mm.
that he's not going to accept all the other things that they're saying. So
That's
it's-
true.
no.
They sometimes they have paperwork and then they find one little detail that seems off, and they start questioning. And judges are very sharp, right? They're trained to find these things, and he finds out this is a forged signature or something like that, and then he'll discredit the person, he'll reject their even the whole case. He might throw out the whole case because of that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one, 25.
That's how the legal system. That's how these lawyers get people off. right?
Yeah.
With O.J. Simpson, they found one. They were able to like discredit every little evidence with little doubts here and here and here and here. None of it was, the evidence was overwhelming. But these lawyers are very clever, so they look for shortcomings. It doesn't have to be like proven that it's wrong. It just has to be a doubt. So
Because
by creating doubts,
in American court system, it has to be proven beyond reasonable doubt.
this
Now you
come from Sharia.
provide-
I mean,
provide
this is
reason.
what the Sheikh is saying.
Yes.
If you can create a doubt in the witness and any, then you reject all of it. So that's what they did. They had DNA evidence of the blood on the glove, on the socks, on this. But then they said the blood, if it spattered, it wouldn't spatter in that pattern around the sock. It would only spatter on one side. So then they threw out the whole thing, all the blood evidence. So now you're left with this eyewitness, and then the guy, the eyewitness that they said he saw OJ. They created some doubts about him too, right? So
Okay, so let's stick with the rules here.
Okay.
People use these principles here. So,
ولا
so 25.
so ولا يسمح
Mhm.
في الجرح والتعديل
Mhm.
والترجمة
ترجمة.
ونحوها إلا شهادة اثنين. So matters of, so let's see, ولا يسمح is not يسمح, it's not permissible. في الجرح, in the matters of jarh, which is discrediting.
yes.
What is jarh? What is discrediting? Like,
You find that like in the hadith where they would give the rating of a person in the hadith and jarh wa ta'dil, how
so jarh is saying, no, this is wrong.
Jarh
Authentic.
literally means to injure somebody,
Injure.
but here it doesn't mean
Jarh.
injure physically. It means to injure their
Injure their
credibility.
credibility.
discredit.
والتعديل, which is now making them authentic,
Yes.
right? والترجمة, this is the
ترجمة.
translation.
Yes.
Okay, second opinion in the Hanbali school is that one translation is acceptable. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. ونحوها, and things like this, except شهادة إلا شهادة اثنين, two
Yes.
witnesses.
Yes. So somebody comes and somebody's a witness and somebody, they say that this person is discreditable or this person authentic. They say just not just one person, you have two people. That's what, and then the same thing for like translations, There's people that might translate things a particular way, so you have two translations. That's
Why
what
would you need
the-
an authentication, Sheikh? What is a ta'dil?
to say
Like,
that,
let's say there's an unknown person. Now two people have to come and say, oh, this guy's good.
well, let's say there's a witness for, for like a doctor or something like that for an injury, and you have an expert come. You have two experts come to authenticate it, not just one expert.
Ah,
Let
yes.
one person say something. That's it would say something like that's what I'm looking at.
Two
Same
witnesses, two expert witnesses.
thing. Two experts to make it not
That's
just
a good
one
idea,
person.
isn't it?
And likewise with the translation, people they translate differently. So one translation might say one thing, and then that's why you have two of them to make sure that they're accurate. The translation.
Subhanallah.
So, but the second opinion in the Hanbali school is that one translation is sufficient. This is acceptable. Let's talk about the witnesses. People they come. Somebody's an expert witness on something, expert on cars or something like that. He says that this is here. So they said they have two of them, not just one person. And the same thing if somebody's an expert in authenticating things, and verifying things. You have two of them.
Okay.
Okay, inshallah. All right. Because people they bring their cases, each person wants to support their case, so they would bring expert witnesses on particular things to say things. So he's saying you should have two of them. That's what he's saying here. And likewise in the translations, you have two translations, because one of them might be slightly different than the other, might be leaning a particular way. So, okay, inshallah.
Subhanallah.
Let's go to number 26. This is not just a solid thing completely. It's just general principles.
I remember, Sheikh, when Ibn Qudamah al-Maqdisi is he's just before Ibn Taymiyyah, right? So about
It was around the same time as Ibn Taymiyyah.
600
Yes.
after Hijrah, which would
Yes.
be 1200, right around when they were burning witches in Europe and right? at the stake with little evidence, right? And this is what we have. Subhanallah. وإذا تعارض الجرح والتعديل قدم الجرح. And if the discrediting and authenticating conflict, discrediting takes precedence.
Yes.
Meaning you would negate the evidence as
Right,
opposed
yes.
to.
If you have the two sides over there, then the discrediting will take the precedence over the authentic.
So if it's like 50-50 kind of or something.
Right, yes. Or they conflict, one thing says one of the witnesses, they say one thing, the other witnesses say something, so both of them, they take, so you take the side of the discreditation that comes first. Okay, inshallah, let's go to the next one, number 27.
Does this also apply to the evidences?
Yeah,
Like
that's
if you
what it
say have
refers
the
to.
evidence.
The witness is like evidence, that's
Yeah.
what that's for. So, yeah.
Because nowadays you
witnesses.
have evidences that take the place of witnesses in a lot of cases.
Right, yes. That's what that.
So
that
one
refers to.
DNA expert says this DNA is valid, and then the other DNA expert says no, this DNA is invalid. Then you just
Yeah,
invalidate.
you'd say you can't accept it as evidence.
Typically, Sheikh, the evidence would be used to condemn someone as opposed to save someone. What do you think?
It might exonerate them too.
Right, so if you're now discrediting, exonerating evidence, that's not very nice. I mean, if you're wanting to stray on the side of say, exonerating people, let's say. So I wonder if the interest is in the side of exonerating people, or, for example, evidence can be on the side of helping people.
Yes, and again, these things, there's levels for things also. It's not like 100% all the time. So you can look at in the time of the things are there where you're going to accept something as evidence. There's not one person proves that it's completely acceptable. The other person proves it's completely unacceptable, and you go by unacceptable. So you don't accept that as a argument in a particular case.
I feel like I'm learning how to be a judge.
So he says a lot of things in that
Yeah.
the judgment. The judges they use follow those principles that he mentions there. Okay, let's go to the next one, inshallah.
وإن شهد شاهد بألف وآخر بألفين قضى له بألف.
Yes, and it continues after that. So you have two witnesses. One says that the person
He owes
owes
them
1,000, and the other one says he owes 2,000. So the judge gives 1,000. But then it mentions the next part too.
وحلف مع شاهده على الألف الآخر.
Okay, so this is a very technical point. Washidu adlin min. You have two witnesses for a debt, right? Two witnesses. So two witnesses come along and they agree with, then the judge goes by that. So the 1,000, you have two witnesses, right? One witness says 2,000, one says 1,000, so it's 1,000 with both of them. Now you have the other 1,000, it's only one witness, not two of them, but the person would do a swearing, and that counts as a witness. So then you get the other 1,000 from that.
I
Okay,
don't
you understand
understand.
that?
No. Okay, so now what happened is Imam Faisal, he owes me 1,000, and one guy comes and he says, yeah, he owes me 1,000. Then the other guy comes, he says, no, he owes him 2,000. Okay, so now you would accept, as the judge, Sheikh, you would accept the guy with the 1,000.
Yes, because you have two witnesses.
Because I
that
have
say
two
1,000.
witnesses. Now, but the guy with the 2,000, he can swear.
Yes, for the other 1,000.
Okay.
And then the person can swear to it. That'll be like having two
So
witnesses.
then it would be having one person that swears.
One person that swears is like a witness, so then you have two witnesses on the other 1,000. Because they consider swearing to be the same value as a witness. That's in the Hanbali school. That's what they say. That's what the Sheikh says. Nowadays, maybe people are different people, liars, but.
Are
back
these
then they
witnesses
considered
not swearing? They're just witnessing without swearing.
No, it's saying the witness is witness to it, and the person that says that he's owed that, he swears that he's owed
Oh, it's the plaintiff that is swearing.
that. Right, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
So
the
now
witness
she
is
brings
swearing,
two
yeah.
witnesses. Okay, so it's the one
It's
who.
it's like having two witnesses.
وحلف مع شاهده.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the one who to him the debt is owed, he swears with the witness. على الألف الآخر. So then he swears. No, okay. In أحد. Okay. أحب.
Okay. Because what happens is you have to have two witnesses, right? For a debt. If you only have one witness, then the person can swear, and that will count as having two witnesses. So that's the point there that he makes for that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number
وإن
29.
قال أحدهما ألف من
No, we did that
قرض
one, I think, is it right?
No, the next one is different.
Oh, okay, see.
29.
من قرض وقال الآخر من ثمن من ثمن مبيع لم تكمل الشهادة.
Yes.
If one of them says that 2,000 is a loan, one of the two says that 1,000 is a loan, But the other one says 1,000 is the sale of the price of the sale, then the witnessing is not complete.
Yes, you have to have two witnesses. So one of them says it's a sale, the other one says no, it's a loan. So they're not two witnesses because they're saying different things. So it's incomplete. The witnesses, no. That's the point.
وقال الآخر من ثمن مبيع لم تكمل الشهادة. So they both have to say loan, or they both have to say sale?
Yes, because it's conflicting. It's not the same witness on both of them.
But Sheikh, when the person says 1,000, 2,000, that's also conflicting technically.
No, but the one says the 2,000 includes the 1,000, so it's like both of them they agree to at least 1,000.
That's true.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay. وإذا شهد أربعة وإذا شهد أربعة بالزنا واختلفوا في المكان أو الزمان أو الصفة لم تكمل شهادتهم.
Yes.
And if four witnesses they testify to adultery, but they disagree on the place, the time, or the manner of the act, then their testimony is incomplete.
Yes. So normally speaking on those issues would pertain to that. They try to do as much as possible to keep the punishment from going through. But anyway, that's the case there. If they don't agree on all the details, the details conflict, then it's incomplete. It's not like
Place
having
and
four.
the time and
Right.
how,
Yes.
and everything has to be.
What
there.
does it mean, sifa?
How they did it. How they did the
Description, Sheikh.
description.
How graphic do you want to get? Maybe the position, or no one knows what. I'm just saying.
Sounds like.
Right? Like, probably the witness will come and say, I saw them like this.
Yeah.
And the other one says, I saw them like that.
Subhanallah.
Then I guess it has to be the
very,
same.
very precise. Yeah, subhanallah.
Okay, inshallah. So then the 14 is the same thing. The 13 was
وشهد
for,
اثنان على فعل
yes, swab.
سوى.
It's the same word for it. Because normally speaking in the hudud, you have four witnesses for particular crimes, but then you have some when you have two of them, but the same deal goes. If it's conflicting on the place, or the time, or the sifat, or the way that it's done, then it's not complete. You have to have two witnesses. So if some things are conflicting on it, then it's not complete as two witnesses. Okay, inshallah. So this is the chapter on where the witnesses are not acceptable in the Hanbali school. And this is a general principle. We go by that, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willing. And again, keep in mind that all these things in this world, in the akhirah, the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give everybody their just due. And doing a false witness, that's a very big sin in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَشْهَدُونَ زُورًا, it's mentioned in the Quran. Person they don't witness to a zur, a lie, in the court system. And then, that's the things that he mentioned in this lesson.
Yeah, I think a very important question is there a distinction here made for a civil case versus a criminal case?
Yes, because in the criminal cases you have four witnesses, like in the zina, and in the civil cases usually two witnesses are sufficient.
But Sheikh,
So that's the case there.
for the sarq, the stealing, is it two?
Yes.
It's only two, yes, for the sarq. Is it sarq? Is that
Yeah,
the-
I believe so. I believe it's two.
Sariq.
Sariq.
But the thing is, when it comes to the hudud, the legal punishments, they try to go on leniency, try to prevent it from happening as much as possible.
But like, okay, so the sariq will be two. What about the harb, like harib, muharib, the one who does highway robbery, for example? Witnesses for the muharib, for example. I'm curious if not only for this sheikh, but I'm saying, for example, in America, you will have witnessing, you have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt for criminal cases, but then for civil cases, it's not really beyond a reasonable doubt. It just has to be in favor of, right? So I wonder if that comes from Islam or
Yeah, you find that what happens is people, they go by trial and error, and over the ages, then they realize what's the right way to do it. We have this already right in the beginning, so we don't have to try to figure out what's right and what's wrong, in the long run. And the thing is, they have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسِ, believe like the people they believe. So you have that thing where you have the right thing where many people they say something. So that's the system that's based in the society here. They go by a lot of people saying things. The jury, you have many people. Many of them, they agree upon it or disagree upon it. So you have that issue too. That has an effect on what's right and wrong also.
So are you saying, for example, in Islam, the Sharia, we would also go similar, that the criminal case has to be proven beyond reasonable doubt, based on the evidence of the witnesses, which is, I think, it's apparent here. But what about the civil case?
But what happens is the judge has a discretion on some of the crimes. So there's some that you have the hudud that's written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's written in the Sunnah.
That's the maximum
Quran.
punishment.
So you have to go by the rules by that. And the other one, the judge has a discretion also on the side also to implement something that's not strictly
Ta'zir.
That's
Ta'zir,
a
less
ta'zir
than
is a
that,
term
yeah.
for it.
Less than that, can the ta'zir be more than the hudud?
No, because Rasulullah said the most you could do is the 10 lashes. So 10 lashes is the ta'zir.
For what?
So it's much less than the hudud.
Oh, okay.
Hudud is usually more 100 lashes and so on. I think there's a hadith that says that. But the ta'zir is like the imprisonment and things like that, jail sentences, fines, things like that. So the judge can have that discretion.
Now, Sheikh, what about the jury? Is there a mention of a jury in Islam, or is it
The jury is just the same thing as the judge, except you have a bunch of people that make the judgment, not just one person.
But the jurists in Islam, like, they wouldn't know this. Most people wouldn't know this, right? So it doesn't make sense that they would come and they would.
Usually people, they would argue back and forth, and that's why you find that the jury sometimes it takes days and
Yes.
weeks. You find here in America days and weeks to come up with the judgment. People that argue and dialogue and go back and forth until they come up with something that they agree upon.
Yeah.
And again, these things, even the judge or even the jury, any place, there could be mistakes in it. Even Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that people come and they give their argument. If I make a mistake on the judgment, on the akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give people their due on the akhirah.
So now, one more question, Sheikh, is if let's say that you're taken to criminal court in America or civil court in America, and now the judge in America will be a non-Muslim, most likely, and the rule will be non-Muslim, right? And while they may have much similarity with the Sharia, their judgment and their ruling and their process may be different than our process. So in the Sharia, can we take their judgment?
Generally speaking, I have a question.
Go.
Is it if you follow the man-made laws here in America, like speeding and going through red lights, should you follow them or not? So the ruling for that, it's good to follow them to be in the spirit of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The person, they start disobeying them, then they're going to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also. To be the spirit of law abiding, so it's good to follow these laws also. Not to disobey those laws as well. Even though it's not exactly the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands the things, but to be in the spirit of being law abiding. That's the reason for it, to keep in that spirit, not to be in the spirit of disobeying things. Then, a person that says, I'll disobey the man-made laws here, but then they'll disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, because they're in that spirit of disobedience. That's the general ruling for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what I'm saying is, for example, if the judge would rule contrary to the Sharia's ruling, especially in the cases of civil cases, for example, where, let's say, like over here, I don't think that it would be the case, but say you found yourself in a place where if you were to steal,
the thing is, in all the times when you have the judgments, it's not perfect, not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So in the akhirah, the hereafter, it'll be in front of Allah
correct.
subhanahu wa ta'ala,
Yeah.
and that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Perfect. There's no, not
I
even
understand.
a weight of a
The question
dust.
is actually, for example, if like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but let's say the punishment of the stealing, and if the stealing was actually hudud upon the person, would be that his hand is cut, his right hand at the wrist. The judge, let's say he's in a bad place where there's a dhulm, and their judgment is, we're going to take both your hands. Okay. So now they're exceeding the had, right? Because they're non-Muslims or whatever. What can the Muslim do? Could he do anything? Could he run away or something? Or he would just have to submit to the dhulm that he's.
Sometimes people are wronged, not just necessarily in the judgments, but in their regular life. Somebody goes and they steal your car. What's a Muslim going to do?
The best
Something
you
happens,
can,
somebody
I guess.
robs somebody, what are they going to do? Same thing. So all these things that happen in their life. So this life here, you have wrongs that happen. But on the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will repay everybody. And in the Jannah, there won't be any problems, in the Jannah.
Inshallah. And then what if the judgment of the judge is faulty, especially for example here, and let's say in the cases of whatever, civil cases, partnership cases, marriage cases, X, Y, and Z, civil case about wealth, and the judgment is khilaf of the Sharia, yani in favor of a person who shouldn't be getting the money, but they get the money, right, because of some technicalities or whatever laws of the land. The person, the Muslim, would he just be kind of waiting until Judgment Day to get that haqq back, or would he be able to resist in some way?
He could say that, that's normally the principle. You want people to be obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they should try to follow it. But if it's a wrong judgment, then what else are you going to do?
Right. You might just try to appeal it or something.
So, and then the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give everybody what's right.
Sometimes over here, Shaykh, instead of
the thing is, if people, they were to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, would do what Allah says, nobody's going to do anything wrong. But people, they don't follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's where you have wrongs happening. You have the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that ordains things. People, they don't follow that, they end up doing wrong to people. When they end up doing.
Do you agree with what they call karma? What goes around comes around?
Yes, there's a lot more to it than just that.
No, like people who get away with it, maybe they can get away with it for some reason or another. They have good lawyers or something like that.
Yes, absolutely.
But it comes back to them one day.
Right.
well, of course,
That's believing in the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything happens for a reason. Because
That's what people say, like people get away with things like
people, they realize that, in life, that's what happens, and they have some sense for it. People that are Muslim, they know that right from the beginning, because that's one of the main tenets of the Iman, to believe in the qada. Okay, inshallah. Alright, so stop over here. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Anything from the ilm, go by it. Anything besides that, just disregard it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wallahu ta'ala alam, knows best.